Thank you. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Today we're going to be talking about the Nera10 and the illegal arrest of the Nera10. Okay, so we have seen along the years protest marches. We have seen along the years campaign justice for the Nera10. We have seen along the years all forms of support that the Nera10 has had. So we are very happy for that support, but yet the Nera10 still remain in prison. Okay, and we know that according to concerned human rights advocates, it was time that the Nigerian government, the civil society organization, and the international leaders mount pressure on the Cameroonian regime for their release. Yet, despite all this support, despite all these civil society organizations and international leaders, yet the Cameroon government still remain adamant to release the Nera10. What we see is that most of the leaders who were in Nigeria, they were more scholars. Okay, their unjust detention reflects how human rights are often sidelined in political conflicts. We must remain hopeful that justice will prevail, because we have seen that this is pure injustice. For they have been kept for more than 7 to 8 years today, and we've seen all the civil society organizations and even the Nigerian government itself has ordered their immediate release. Okay, then we know that it was gathered that the Federal High Court of Abuja and its judgment that was held on 1st of March in 2019, if I'm not mistaken, 2019, declared that the abduction and the deportation of the Nera10 was illegal, and they ordered their release and compensation by the Cameroon, so that the Cameroon government should compensate them. Okay, and we also know of the United Nations Human Rights Council, the council working group that on arbitrary detention and its communication that was in 2022, dated that they call for the immediate release of the Nera10, and these rulings of the Nera10 has not been respected by Cameroon government. They are still in prison 8 years today. The Nera10, I know most people do not know most of the leaders. The Nera10 were the leaders of the Southern Cameroon Ambazonian. Back then, when the struggle started, they had a government. They formed the government. Okay, so the Nera10 comprised of academics, professionals. It comprised of advocates, lawyers. Okay, Julius Ayuktabe worked in Nigeria. He was the information technology expert and the president and the vice president of the American University of Nigeria. Augustine Che Awasu was the professor of veterinary surgery and diagnostic imaging at Ahmadu Bello University. Blaise Berignou Sevinzim, human rights advocate, solicitor, and notary public. Cornelius Njikimbi Kwanga, economist and senior lecturer at the Umaru Musa Yadua University. Others are Egbe Ogontui, structural engineer and associate professor at Bayero University. Elias Ebai Eyambe is a barrister, solicitor, and notary public. Fidelis Ndeche is a senior lecturer in engineering at the American University of Nigeria. Henry Tata Kimeng is associate professor of engineering in architecture at Ahmadu Bello University. Mfongalamfo is a political scientist and author. Wilfred Fombang Tasang is a scholar and teacher in Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia. Now, the petition that was signed that all these scholars, these professionals should be released, they made it clear that the government of Nigeria should institute an urgent action to secure the implementation of communication of 2022, that the communication from the United Nations that calling for the release of the petitioner, that the government of Nigeria should take action and implement the ruling in the 3 judgment of the Federal High Court of Abuja of 2019. All this implementation were supposed to take place, okay? And we also know of that the Nigerian government should leverage the Abuja 2002 ruling in the case of Kelvin Kwang Njume and Al, demanding that Nigeria intervene to resolve the conflict between Southern Cameroon and La République du Cameroon and respect for the particular clause of the Green Tree Agreement. Okay. Also, that the Nigerian government should also respect the take action and urgently initiate proceeding before the ICJ and other international jurisdiction, citing La République du Cameroon be sanctioned for fraudulent misrepresentation during the Bakassi Peninsula case in the ICJ. Remember, the Bakassi Peninsula case, the Cameroon government won under the auspices of Southern Cameroon. Okay, that's why they won, because Bakassi is in Southern Cameroon. That's why Nigeria won, because they asked both the La République government and Nigerian government, did you have Southern Cameroon at the time of your independence? Both Nigeria said no. Both La République du Cameroon said no, we do not have Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia during the time of our independence. So why do you lay claim of this land called Bakassi that is yours? So definitely it was handed to Cameroon in the auspices that Ambazonia is now with Cameroon. Okay, but at the end of the day, these are the rulings that tell you that all these cases have been won because of the nature of Bakassi, okay, the oil-rich region. So the government of Nigeria, the Republic of Nigeria, to take its rightful place as big brother in Africa, in African politics, and cause the African Union and the United Nations to intervene in the matter between the Southern Cameroon and La République du Cameroon, or to proceed as mediator and resolve the ongoing conflict and restore peace and stability in the Gulf of Guinea region. Okay, these are all petition and different ways that they were looking at back then, so that the people should resolve the abduction of the Nera10. Okay, and that is why we have all the lawyers going to Nigeria to fight for this. Okay, and that is what we are seeing. Some of our sisters that have been very pushful. This is one of them. She has been there trying to fight for free the Nera10 for many years today.
Revolutionary greetings, my fellow Ambazonians. My name is Paulette Bonsiru, and I'm a champion for justice for Nera10. And I'm here to talk to you people regarding tomorrow, Saturday, where it will mark 100 days of the Abuja ruling for our leaders and 37 other Ambazonians to be sent back to Nigeria and be compensated. Tomorrow, the 8th of June, it also marks 448 days since our leaders were abducted from the Nera Hotel. 12 of them, and subsequently 10 were sent back to the dungeons of La République. I stand here as an Ambazonian mother, and I urge all Ambazonians that tomorrow, Saturday, the 8th of June, we all should get onto Twitter, Follow our campaign at Nera10, as on my t-shirt. And for each tweet you tweet or retweet, please, could you hashtag it? Could you hashtag? I will say courage to my brothers and sisters who are in them filthy prisons. I will say courage to all Ambazonians all over the world. And I ask of us all to be focused, to look towards getting ourselves to the foot of the mountain, to the foot of Mount Fako. My fellow Ambazonians, I have never been hopeful as of now. I used to see the light at the end of the tunnel. The light is that bright that it dims off my eyes when I look at it.
Lawyer to 6 Cameroonian professors teaching in Nigerian universities and 4 others, barrister has petitioned the Nigerian House of Representatives to help secure the release of some Cameroonian professors allegedly abducted from Abuja, Nigeria, in January 2018 by a combined team of Nigerian and Cameroonian forces. The lawyer, Barrister Joseph Fru, made the call on Tuesday in a press conference which took place at the House of the Press Corps, where he claimed that his clients were illegally imprisoned by the Cameroonian authorities. The petitioners, who are all of Cameroonian nationality, included refugees and asylum seekers, said they were all legally resident in Nigeria at the time they were all illegally abducted and deported from Nigeria on January 5, 2018 to Cameroon on frivolous allegations of plotting to destabilize the government of Cameroon President Mr. Paul Biya.
Somebody arbitrarily, and when we say arbitrarily, we mean without any legal cause, is picked up and then held for as long as they were held in Nigeria before being sent to Cameroon. That is called an abduction. An abduction does not end when we know where they are. An abduction, that illegal act continues and abides with them until that illegality is cured. And to this point, that illegality has not been cured, and that is why they are still languishing in prison. The second thing is that these petitioners were not repatriated. They were not deported. Because you repatriate somebody when you go through a legal process and you exhaust all the legal processes, and then a court decides that they have to go back to where they came from to answer in that jurisdiction.
Hello, hope you enjoyed the news. Please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to hit the notification button so you get
Yeah, so you can get the argument from the lawyer there who is talking about abduction and illegal repatriation of somebody. When you are in a country, the country needs to follow due process before you are repatriated or you are sent back. So when you do it in the way that La Republic of Cameroon did to Nera10, it's illegal. That's why they talk about illegal imprisonment, illegal repatriation or expulsion, where you do not follow due process. These were professors, these were engineers, as I just read before. They were not criminals. These were the leaders that were elected to lead Southern Cameroon and Amazonia. But because La Republique du Cameroon does not want challenge, does not want these people of Southern Cameroon to move forward, they prefer to jail these people. This is almost 8 to 9 years that they are in prison. The international organizations have asked for their release. The international body have asked for everything about them because they are all illegally arrested. Okay, so what we know is that the National Assembly held a meeting, held a hearing about the Nera10, because Nigeria is not at peace because of this illegal arrest. And there are certain questions that we have to ask the Nigerian government. Okay, the illegal arrest and violation of international law, by the fact that they were picked up at the Nera Hotel, taken to an unknown destination, underground bunker, and a plane comes from Cameroon, carried them. Then Nigeria government cannot say they don't know about it. This happened on January 5th, 2018. Okay, where 10 of these are our leaders. That's why I call it Nera10. From the president, Siseko Julius Ayoktabe, they were all arrested by the Nigerian security forces at the Nera Hotel in Abuja. They were subsequently handed over to Cameroonian authorities on January 26 of 2018. It means that the Nigerian authority have the legal obligation to say something about that period where they were arrested from that until January 26 of 2018, along with 37 other refugees we know of the Taraba 39. So this action violated the principle of non-refoulement, which prohibit returning asylum seekers to a country where they may face persecution. Okay? The deportation occurred without judicial oversight or an extradition treaty between Nigeria and Cameroon, and contravening Nigerian laws and international convention that we all know about refugee. You don't repatriate refugees to a country where they are running from, and they have refugee status. Some had Nigerian status. They were already Nigerian citizens. Okay. 2. Another aspect that we have to look at is the disregard for the Nigerian court ruling. In March of 2019, the Federal High Court of Nigeria ruled that the arrest and the deportation of the Nera10 and the Taraba 39 and other individuals were illegal under Nigerian and international law. So the court ordered their immediate release and they returned to Nigeria along with the compensation for damages. Despite this ruling, the Nigerian government has not taken steps to implement the court's decision, and individuals remain imprisoned in Cameroon prison, or called Kondengi. We are looking at that. Okay. 3. Unfair trial and life sentences. When they were sent to Cameroon, after months of incommunicado detention without access to legal representation and family visit, the Nera10 were tried in a Cameroon military tribunal, for God's sake. How do you try a civilian in a military court, okay, where they know nothing about, and in Yaoundé everything is in French, and it's a civil law court, civil law, while in southern Cameroon we have the common law like Nigeria, okay. So in August of 2019, they were sentenced to life imprisonment and fined $525 million. Okay, so the trial was marked by numerous irregularities, including the use of military court, which we have just said that you don't use military court for civilians. Okay, which violates international fair trial standard by trying civilian in a military court. Okay, then another one was a violation of the human right law, where the detention of Nera10, we know that it's a broader pattern of human rights abuses against Amazonian activists and civilians. Okay, no argument can be given that so many of our people have been killed, illegally detained, have been illegally abused. Okay, so since 2016, at least 1,000 to 2,000 activists and journalists have been imprisoned, with many facing trials in military courts. Reports indicate that detainees have been subjected to torture, denied access to legal support, and held in inhumane conditions. See someone like Abdul Karim that was jailed without trial. He never went to court. He was given life imprisonment. That's what we're talking about. So what justification can the Cameroon government say they can justify for that, for the illegal detention and imprisonment of the Nera10 and all the other activists who are languishing in jail? Okay. The international condemnation of this action has not been heard by the Cameroon government and the Nigerian government, both who played part in the abduction of the Nera10. The Nigerian government aided Cameroon government to arrest the Nera10, swindle these guys, okay, Ambazonian leaders for that matter, to Cameroon. Despite all calls, the action against the Nera10 and other Ambazonian presidents have drawn condemnation from the international organizations and governments. We all know that, okay? Amnesty International, the United Nations Human Rights Commission, and the U.S. Department of State have criticized the violation of international law. So in 2021, the U.S. Senate unanimously passed Resolution 684, urging the Cameroon government to release all political prisoners and the arbitrary detention and human rights abuses and end all this for God's sake. But did Cameroon government listen to this? No. Okay. That is why we are saying that there's a lot of things that has to go intertwined with all this. Okay. The fact that the Cameroon government does not respect international law, does not respect international human rights law, does not respect international condemnation is a call for concern. But what we know here is that the fact that some countries have this veto power to veto things that goes to United Nations the United Nations Council, okay, Security Council. France can veto anything that goes there. So it gives an edge to La Republic of Cameroon to do anything. They know that they will be covered by the French, what they call the veto power. Okay, so we are hoping that through negotiation, through other means, the Ambazonian cause will go through, because La Republic does not want to go to negotiation, because negotiation involves the release of political prisoners. Okay, they prefer to have what we call Grand National Dialogue. What the Grand National Dialogue achieve? Nothing. Okay, Grand National Dialogue was not meant to solve the problem. Grand National Dialogue was meant to blindfold the international community to think that something is happening like negotiation. There was nothing like negotiation, because even those the frivolous terms of agreement that was reached at have not even been implemented till today. I heard I think the president of the House of Chiefs of Southwest House of Chiefs, as they call it, it was lamenting, saying that he has been here for almost 3-4 years doing nothing. Okay, he has no function, no portfolio. That is why we say that the House of Chiefs now is quite different from the House of Chiefs back then. They're not the same. So this House of Chiefs now, they have went and separated it to have Northwest House of Chiefs, Southwest House of Chiefs. That's not how the House of Chiefs was back then. And look at how they are mistreating our chiefs. The chiefs that were decision makers, they were lawmakers back then. They were those people in charge of education. They were in charge of the culture. They were in charge of so many projects within Southern Cameroon, because the House of Chiefs was like the second house. Okay, you have the upper house, which was the House of Representatives, then the second house, which is the House of Chiefs. They had a lot of influence. But today, because the government of Cameroon have made it that they will be paying them monthly salaries, they try to impose stuff on them. Imagine asking chiefs to go and march. What do you expect your chief, seeing your chief to be marching? But you see a small boy in Chang. I saw a chief in Chang was hailed coming to the 20th May Boulevard. I'm like, how do you people disrespect our chiefs like this? You want our chiefs to march. You don't give them any respect. But you see the respect they give to those chiefs in other places when they are coming to the 20th May Boulevard. Right? How mean, I mean, I don't understand how to describe it, but this is just something that the chief themselves can describe how the FACO chief, because I know not all of the FACO chief went for this march, some of the FACO chief, but in Kumba it didn't happen like that, because I saw Chief Mukete, who was well respected, went to the 20th May. At least we're talking about respect here, because if not, these lot of public people will put shit into their mouth. Yes, they go push it for their mouth because of this nonsense that So thank you, and that is what we have today. We are hoping that the Nigerian government will respect the rulings, all the various rulings that we have elaborated from the civil society organizations, the international leaders that have mounted pressure before to the Nigeria and Cameroon government for the release of the Nera10. We hope that they're gonna listen to that and make sure that this unjust detention, make sure that they face justice by releasing them, compensating them, and sending them back to Nigeria, because Cameroon is not safe for them, because they are asylum seekers, they are more of Nigerian citizens, and so on and so forth. So we hope that the Nigerian government, I was very happy with the hearing they had at the Nigerian Parliament about the Nera10. That was a good start, and we hope that it will continue like that, because from what we know that the Federal High Court of Abuja has passed their judgment in 2019, and they declared the abduction and deportation of the Nera10 as illegal, and they ordered for the immediate release and compensation of these guys. Even the United Nations Human Rights Council Working Group on Arbitrary Detention made the same thing. They called for their immediate release. So if all these guys have said this arrest is illegal, why does the Nigerian and Cameroon government cannot sit and say, hey, we made a mistake, release these guys, send them back to Nigeria, and compensate them? That is the question. So we are hoping that that will happen, because the pressure keep mounting. We are seeing how things unfold, but hopefully we will see some positive outcome. If not now or later, hopefully it will happen. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the like and all the button that you see there, to make sure that when I come on air, you can see me coming. Thank you for watching. This has been Comrade Fritz Misodi.
Wengine walia kulala, wengine walia kulala, pillage is torn, caught in the crossfire, firing.